Tom, before he lived here in Murphy's, he moved here in 2008 when his mom was ill and moved up here to be with his parents, and we met that summer and fell in love and eventually got married. But prior to that, he lived in Southern California in Santa Monica, and he was on the school board down there when his son Christopher was going through school. So that was back in 1998 to 2002. And Tom really enjoyed that experience at that time. So he comes with some experience. He's got his master's in governance from the California School Board Association, had his bachelor's degree at California State Northridge. So I think he's extremely well qualified, and I'm really happy to introduce him. So take it away, Tom.
Thank you, Kimberly. And if anybody wants a better campaign manager and chief of staff to run a campaign, you cannot ask for a better person than Kimberly. She has absolutely been fabulous. Everything you see, the planning, the design of the campaign is all Kimberly. So thank you, Kimberly. And I also have to thank my great staff, Patty Barton, Mr. Christopher Barton, for hanging all those great signs along Highway 4.
And the labor.
Yes. And I also want to thank Marita for being here. It's a real honor to have our county supervisor here. And thank you for your comment to me. You actually made me want to even run harder when you said that I'm really glad to see that you're running to win. That meant a lot to me. And that was just today. So I really appreciate that. And I also thank all of you for being here today. It's really great to have you and to start this campaign. And another thing, too, is that I'm going to try to do this without a teleprompter. So, and,
we have it in the truck just in case.
Yeah, okay, good. And I left my notes at home, so I'm going to wing it and just speak from my heart. So one of the questions I always get asked is, why am I running? And the simple question I always say, and a very simple answer is, because I care. I care deeply because we have a child that's coming up into the system. I have a lot of investment in the future because Kimberly and I want to stay here. We want to reside here. We want to live and grow old here and have our children grow up in such a magical, magical community and place. And another reason why I'm so passionate about education is I can share with you a personal story and something that happened to me that really opened my eyes about education. When I was 15 years old, I loved, breathed, everything was football. I was going to be playing for the Oakland Raiders. I was going to be the star. I was as a freshman, the varsity team wanted me to start playing football. Education was great, but it was football, and that was my life. Then something very amazing and very disturbing happened to me. I got sidelined with one of the worst case of shingles that you have ever seen. It started in my mouth, marched up through my face, into my brain. And then I was in a coma, in a hospital for quite some time. And during that time, when I came out from the coma, realizing that what I had to do and trying to go back to school was very difficult. Yes, the physical aspects and the physical scars were very difficult to heal, but it was the emotional scars that were the toughest. I had no idea what I was going to do when I came back to school. I lost my identity. I lost my goals. I lost everything until my biology teacher took me aside one day and he said, "Tom, if you want to move and you want to succeed in life, school's going to have to be the way that you're going to do it." And I said, okay. So he mentored me, taught me all about biology. I took care of all the animals in the high school that I went to. I then branched out and then learned more about all the different wonderful things of history and drama and speech, which I just thoroughly enjoyed. And from that, I expanded on, and I actually got into college. From being a football kid into a student, and got into college. I then decided to try something different too, and I tried my first theater class because when I was a child, my father was very active in the community theater, and all of us as little kids, instead of having babysitters, we played in the theater. I thought that was so much fun, and how it would be a great experience for me. So I did take my first theater class. The professor said, "My gosh, take it all the way from there." So then I majored in theater. And from that experience, I got a job in Hollywood, working for ABC Television. They liked my work. They paid for my college, everything, my books, my tuition. From that, all from the aspect from having an education. So I am very, very passionate about education and what it can do to transform one's life. And so when I say that I care, I truly care about attracting and retaining the best teachers possible for our district. I care about having the kids in third grade reading at grade level because of all the studies and research that come across. And if a child doesn't know how to read by third grade, they will be lost forever and have a very high rate of dropping out of school. I also care about art and music, and as well as having sports programs. Every study and research that has come out too with this tells the same thing, that kids that participate in these particular programs will increase their academic performances. I then also believe very deeply in technology. Technology is the key to our future, and that if we have more investment in technology, the children that come out of schools will be able to have more jobs and opportunities. I was reading an article by the Wall Street Journal that said that, in essence, the kids that come out of our schools can't compete with the other children throughout the world. The competition is extremely difficult and very, very tough. And we need to look at that. Avery's doing a wonderful job having iPads for all the kids in the middle school. I'd like to step that up, see if we can bring that down through into the elementary school, and if that goes into Bret Hart, eventually too as well. Then also, I am very, very passionate about communication. I hear over and over that the board doesn't communicate with the community, with the teachers. I would like to plan to have coffees on a once-a-month basis in Arnold, down here in Murphy's, so that I can also, one, I can hear what the community has to say, but also what I can communicate back to them, barring that it's not something that's confidential, like a personnel issue or something like that. And then also, too, is the fact that I believe in I can provide being a decisive and a good leader. When Kimberly said I was on the school board back in '98, I was the president on one of the worst days in the history of this country. That was on 9/11. I had 12,000 kids and families that looked to me after conferring with the board. I had to make the call and the decision if we were going to keep our schools open. I decided, yes, this would be the best thing for the kids, to keep them away from watching the TV and to seeing all those graphic and terrible images. We decided to do that. It was a good decision. We also had a parent that had a child in the schools that was on one of the planes that crashed into the trade center. We then decided that I'd put together some candlelight vigils. We did some interfaith memorials for all the families, so that in order to heal our community, which I felt was extremely important that we needed to do. And so, again, I think I can offer and bring a lot to the school district, and that I truly, truly, deeply care. And I so appreciate you all being here today. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to to take those, but also the fact is that if you believe in what we're trying to do, please vote for me. And vote for us. I consider this as an us because of my wonderful campaign committee here. But also, too, if you can, if rich in your heart and can fill up our little kitty jar there, that'd be great. Because we certainly do need some assistance. As Marina knows, it's not cheap to run a campaign. So we greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming out today. Appreciate it. And also, if you have any other questions, please vote. Please tell your friends and everything, too, that I'm here and I'm here to stay for a long, long time. And I'll be on the board. So thank you so much, everybody.